border. Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson is the chairman of the Committee on Homeland Security and joins us now. Welcome, Congressman.
Thank you for having me.
First, I'd like your reaction or response to those comments we just heard from Mark Morgan and Kevin McAleenan.
Well, it continues to show the insensitivity of ICE and Homeland Security officials to this issue. You can't separate children after their families, their parents go to work. As you know, some of the school districts were not contacted. The Human Service Department, in many instances, have yet to be contacted. But it was the good people of those communities who rallied around the children. They are the real heroes in this situation, not our ICE and Homeland Security officials.
We know border crossings dipped. 24%, in fact, from June to July. They're down 43% since May, according to CBP. Here's what acting CBP Commissioner Mark Morgan said about those numbers.
But make no mistake, our daily apprehension numbers we're between 23 to 2,500. If you remember, the former Secretary Jay Johnson said a bad day for him was 1,000. Yeah. And I know it because I worked for him then as Chief of Border Patrol. So this is still crisis levels.
Congressman, do you think there's still a crisis at the border?
Well, let me say that the crisis is not at the processing plants. Those individuals were going to work. They were not trying to hide. I don't say that they have not broken the law, but if I look at who they are, trying to take care of their families, they've integrated themselves into the community, doing the things that they really want to do. They're seeking economic independence. They're not murderers, robbers, rapists that many people in this administration want you to believe. So there's significant sympathy for those individuals. They're not deadbeats. They're not standing on the corner. And they're doing a lot of work that many of those companies can't find people to do. So we need to find a solution. But let me tell you, 600 people to arrest 680 people, all of them who are at work. Not a single owner of a company has been picked up or anything. So these individuals go to work. All the records of them are there in the offices of those companies. But again, you pick on the little people, and the big people seem to get away every time.
Well, the president has said as much, that he believes that our coverage of that raid and showing the trauma on those children would be an effective deterrent to people coming from south of the border into this country.
Well, it does not go to our values as Americans. I don't want to be known as someone who's separating families or picking on children. And the president of all people can't say anything. He's been accused time and again of working illegal individuals on his properties. So maybe we need to look at him just like we're looking at the processors here in Mississippi.
Let me ask you about something else. We learned the El Paso shooter told investigators he was targeting Mexicans. This is according to the arrest affidavit. And that's also, as we learned, the White House rebuffed attempts by DHS for more than a year to make combating domestic terrorism a higher priority. Of course, now that El Paso shooting is a domestic terrorist investigation. Do you have confidence the administration is equipped to attack the threat from domestic terrorists?
No, I don't. And let me tell you why. We've just allocated significant resources to the Department of Homeland Security to address a lot of issues along the border and what have you. Nobody talked about domestic terrorism was a problem. The White House continues to actually downplay it. They will want you to believe that our largest threat to the homeland is still the Islamist threat. But that's not the case. The facts don't bear it out. So I'm not convinced at all that this administration really wants to address the right-wing threats that we can document in this country. El Paso, in my estimation, is just the beginning of other things unless we address it forthrightly, and that means from the White House all the way to Congress.
Congressman Benny Thompson, we'll have you back when we can talk more about what you are doing in Congress to address that threat. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.